Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. How are my XR people doing out there? Look, you know, since the last time I made a video where I talked about price, we are now one day closer to life-changing wealth, right? And look, check this out. There's some interesting things to talk about in this latest Moon Lambo hot jam, because Raoul, who is very famous within the world of crypto, I think it's fair to say, says, hey, it's time to freaking buckle up because almost every chart in crypto looks coiled. That's what he said. Almost every single chart looks coiled. That's a quote, actually. And things are going to come. And as far as the timeline, we really are not that far away. We really aren't. With every day that passes, we're that much closer to that morning when we're going to wake up, check the price chart and be like, WTF, mate, what the hell just happened? Because XRP is just going to be running, and you never know quite for sure exactly when it's going to happen. But that's part of what makes this all so exciting and fun to be a part of. Crypto moves quickly. But before going any further, I do want to be clear that I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm nothing more than an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby, just for fun, there is nothing special about me, just a simple little moon Lambo. As I record this, XRP is at $1.05. Gotta ask, how are those people that panic sold XRP at 52 cents a few weeks ago? How are they doing? Anybody checked on them lately? Are they doing okay? I hope so. I'm worried about them. I haven't heard them screaming anything ridiculous lately. Bitcoin is at $47,849. Market cap for the asset class just a little shy of 2.2 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance sliding. It's down to 41.4%. So how are the lemmings feeling today? Neutral. Things could be worse for the lemmings. The stereotypical retail speculator. Just a few days ago, they were feeling extremely fearful, those little lemmings. And I'll tell you what, when they're in extreme fear mode, they actually are diving off the cliff, one after another. So right now, they're feeling neutral, which means they're not killing themselves. That's nice. We do like that. Here on the Moon Lambo channel, we support lemmings not killing themselves. And I'm sorry, I have fun characterizing it like this. So this is the Crypto Fear and Greed Index on your screen. So yes, a few days ago we were seeing 20 out of 100, meaning the market was actually feeling extreme fear. Right now, it's neutral, 49 out of 100. But you just wait. Inevitably, the market's going to go back into greed, and then it'll be extreme greed. And then at some point in the future after that, don't know when, it's going to go back to extreme fear. It goes back and forth. It teeter-totters. It takes a little bit of time, but that's what happens. Whatever the sentiment is, it's not going to stay there forever. The market's volatile. And I highlight this again to illustrate the point that none of the short-term price action freaking matters, but it's worth talking about because one of the most important things we can do as crypto investors is be aware of this and how humans behave so that we can manage our own emotions. And like I frequently say these days, emotions are stupid, so I just don't have them. Give it a whirl. It's fun. Now here is a tweet thread, very short tweet thread from Raoul. Gotta talk about this. And he shared the following with his 654,000 followers. And so he's the founder of Global Macro Investor and also Real Vision. I've been watching Real Vision somewhat regularly since December of last year. I believe that's when I first came across them anywhere, at least when I started paying notable attention, because it's just a good platform. They really are. It's just they have all sorts of video content, and they have people with really diverse viewpoints. So yes, they do have Bitcoin maximalists, and they get to spout opinions that I think are completely ridiculous. They've had people on that I think just say the most factually incorrect stuff about XRP, but that's part of what it is to have open discourse. Listen to both sides, find out who is worth believing, find out who deserves trust, find out who's saying facts. So I just want to have the best ideas from both sides, just battle it out in the arena of ideas, and you get to do that with Real Vision. And there are people on the flip side, he has very pro XRP people on, and I've just noticed that they're rather well informed, and the people that are against XRP, it seems more ideologically driven than factual driven. So anyway, I'm just saying I like his platform, I always appreciate his perspective, but yeah, former Goldman Sachs executive who happens to be long XRP. He thinks and I covered this recently in a video, he thinks that we're going to be seeing at least a tenfold increase from roughly where XRP is today. And he tweeted out the following: I'm finding it very hard to not get extremely bullish about the next few months. Almost every crypto chart looks coiled and ready for a big move after months of consolidation. Here are the two charts that matter to me right now. This is total market cap. I'll make this full screen in just a second, folks, for those that are actually watching. I know a lot of you are like me. When I listen to YouTubers talk about crypto or whatever the topic is, I like it when I can just like walk my dog, do chores around the home, work out at the gym, and then just have something that keeps me engaged and interested. And so for those of you that actually are looking at the screen, I'm going to pull this up in just a second here, but he said, this is total market cap. It is likely ready to move from 2 standard deviations oversold versus trend to overbought. That looks to me that the entire space can 3x into year end and 6x into next year. And then he wrote in parentheses, I think the cycle extends, which is a topic I'm going to talk about more when I get to the next couple tabs I've got open in my browser here. It's this idea of, is each crypto market cycle, is it lengthening? Many people say yes, a few people say no. Interesting topic. I'm not completely sold one way or another, but I will note that most people do seem to think that it's lengthening here. And so he said 3x to 6x perhaps in the next year. Yeah, that's on the full. And then I want to mention this again. I've said it a few times lately, but there's always new people coming on board. Be aware of this. That doesn't mean that whatever crypto you're holding, you should only expect a 6-fold increase. He's talking about the total market cap for the entire asset class. And so what you will see is individual cryptocurrencies blasting off into the stratosphere, 10-fold, 20-fold, 30-fold increases, 100-fold increases for some. You're going to see that, but it'll be individual coins, and then profit will be taken, and then it'll spill out into other coins. It just kind of splinters off and just drips on down to the rest of the coins. And so even though you will see those huge multiplier effects, on the whole, you're not seeing the 100-fold increases for each individual coin at the same time. So yes, if you look at any given moment as this bubble continues to inflate, yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable. You're saying 3 to 6-fold increase from here. You're looking at like what, somewhere in the neighborhood of 8, 10, maybe upwards of $20 trillion in terms of market cap. I don't know where we're going to top out in terms of market cap for the asset class this cycle, but none of that sounds wacky. Way higher than this, yeah. So if we have a 7, 8, 9, $10 trillion market cap, I don't know where it's going to go for sure, but that sounds very plausible to me. It's just not every coin's going to pump at once. And then he says, the outright chart of market cap is ludicrously bullish once it crossed $900 million in market cap and will be an acceleration point. Wave 3 in technical analysis term ushered in by this giant cup and handle wedge. Oh, I almost forgot to make this full screen for you watching. I'm sorry about this. This is the crypto total market cap. This is what he's talking about right here. So you can see directionally where it is heading. And then here's the second chart that he shared. Altcoin market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then he said the following. Almost every chart of every crypto looks equally coiled, even the small, underappreciated projects. Writing GMI, that's Global Macro Investor, his company, writing GMI currently and doing work on all of this, and the setup for the acceleration phase is as good as I have ever seen. Buckle up and good luck. You gotta love this stuff right here. And so that's what I'm saying, like for everybody that's an XRP holder, which I'm assuming is just about 100% of humans listening to this, because we happen to have that shared interest here. This is an XRP-centric channel, after all, even though I do talk about the broader crypto sphere. Look, you're going to see a bunch of other coins pop off. Don't let it emotionally get to you. You hold a very small percentage of all coins in existence. Everybody does, just a small percentage. So most of the time when you're seeing coins pop off, it's not going to be something that you hold. Don't freak out. It doesn't mean it's time to freak out. XRP will have its day in the sun. It's certainly coming here. That's why I keep saying, like, the idea of XRP hitting its all-time high near $4 and then entering price discovery, for me personally, it's a question of if, not when. And it doesn't mean that I'm 100% there, but as close as possible. It's if, not when. As Raoul Paul cited here, every chart looks coiled. Well, how is it possible that they're all coiled at the same damn time? Well, because the market moves in tandem. Everything is going to go just like last market cycle because humans are behaving the same as last market cycle 4 years ago. The reason they're behaving the same is because it's still not clear, even 4 years later, which cryptocurrencies are truly going to have long-term staying power. Now, you and I might agree that XRP is one that deserves to have long-term staying power, fine, but we're more knowledgeable. People that follow this channel and other XRP crypto YouTubers, like they're seeking out information more than the stereotypical retail investor. You know more than the typical human that's invested in crypto. So yes, we get it. We believe XRP is going to be around for the long haul, but everybody else investing, they're just throwing money into everything. They're like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Here's my money. That's pretty much that. Just like during the dot-com boom and bust. Oh, you do a business with the dot-com? Oh, you my money. That's exactly what it was. And so I just acknowledge this is how humans are behaving, as ridiculous as I think it is, and you probably do too, I'm willing to bet. That's just how they're acting. And so we just have to sit around and wait for them to figure out which cryptocurrencies deserve to be here for the long haul, and that's going to be based on actual real-world adoption and utility. Now take a look at this from Willy Woo. And I like this, like hearing this guy's takes, but man, I personally think he is disastrously wrong on what he's sharing right here. And that's fine. Maybe, and I could be wrong too. I acknowledge that. I love the diversity of thought. So this is me challenging his idea, not attacking him, of course. I love diversity of thought here. But here you'll see what he shared with his 756,000 followers. This is one of the most well-known chart guys on the planet in crypto. And I really mean that. And here's what he tweeted out. The last cycle. I already don't like that. What will this bull cycle top? In my opinion, there is no top. No. Past. Predictable walk of supply/demand governed by a simple 4-year halvening. Now, unpredictable walk of demand/supply from a complex ecosystem until we hit saturation. I'm going to say my thoughts on this right now, and then I'm going to share with you opinions from Credible Crypto and Chart Analyst DIY Investing. And it looks like all three of us are on the same page, and we think Willy Woo just ain't right on this one. But he's not going to be right about everything. It doesn't mean he doesn't have valuable takes. I just think he's wrong about this one thing, and who knows? Maybe he'll prove me wrong, in which case, fine. I'm not going to be right about everything. Of course not. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm not under some sort of illusion that everything that I believe to be true is absolutely correct, and there's no other valid opinion. Of course, I'm not like that. But here's the thing. Here's why I feel so strongly about this idea. Because he's basically saying up forever. Look, if we're talking up forever without any of these major pullbacks we've seen historically, 80, 90% plus pullbacks, man, you're talking about never having a bubble in crypto ever again. I firmly believe that would have to happen. If you're talking no major pullbacks, because here's the thing. When a bubble fully inflates and you get this hockey stick-like chart, on any asset. I don't care what it is. If you're talking precious metals, you can talk about real estate stocks. I don't care what the asset is. It doesn't matter. If you have a way too fast move up, you're going to have roughly an equally sized correction. This is just the nature of bubbles. This concept existed before crypto existed. Okay, so applying it to crypto, of course you should. And he's basically saying, no, we're not going to apply that to crypto anymore. No, a bubble can fully inflate. It can go way up. It can insanely high very quickly. But you have that bubble inflation, but not the deflation. No. That's not how bubbles work. When they inflate, they do pop. Eventually. Absolutely. And he's saying, no, never again. The last cycle. And so the idea of getting to a point where we do see upward action without this disastrously ridiculous negative price action, I do buy into the concept we'll get there, and there will be less opportunity in crypto over shorter periods of time, and I do believe that will happen. I just don't think we're there yet. I'm looking at look at how humans are behaving right now. This year we're seeing 100-fold increases in all sorts of cryptos. People are behaving the same as 4 years ago. You don't think we're going to have a blow-off top? I just don't buy it. But this is why I'm here. I think it's going to happen XRP too, which is why when I'm talking about XRP hitting all-time high, blasting past $10, which I don't know where it's going to go price-wise, so I'm not predicting that. I'm not making a price prediction. But the idea of XRP going to $10 or $20 or $30, plausible. It depends on how high the rest of the market goes too, because money starts into Bitcoin and then splinters off into other cryptos, including XRP. But the idea of it getting up that high this market cycle does not seem wacky to me, and not in the least. There's way more money on the planet than necessary to make that type of thing happen, and I believe that a lot of it's going to be flowing into crypto, including XRP, so which is why we just have to be patient as far as I'm concerned here. And so here's what Credible Crypto said about this. Don't quite agree. If we get a parabolic/blow-off fifth wave, there will be an equally aggressive drop that follows. But generally, yes, we can expect higher lows and higher highs to be put in over time, of course. Yeah, and so that makes all the sense in the world to me. You will see. So, look, if he's right that we're not going to see a massive drop, I will only agree to that if we don't see a massive blow-off top. Then I'm like, yeah, of course. Because why would you see an 80%, 90% drop if you don't see a massive move up first? You're not going to see that. Of course you're not. You'll still see volatility. I mean, think about it. Just within the last few months, we saw Bitcoin drop over 50%, but that's not 90%, you know? Then there's this from DIY Investing, who's responding to the same tweet from Willy Woo. He wrote, LOL, Willy Woo is a smart guy, but this is almost as bad as Parabolic Trav's take in 2017. And I'm not familiar with him. I don't know what his take was in 2017, but I can guess based on the context. And then DIY Investing wrote, towards the top of every cycle, people assume it's just going to go up forever. There will be way more charts like this over the next 3 months. Don't buy into the BS. And look, I'm speaking from experience. I was here. I jumped into crypto in November 2017. And towards that last part of the year, while I was actually there, I saw no shortage of people that really believed and were spouting off the idea that crypto, Bitcoin, XRP, it was just going to keep going on forever. In fact, there was a very I won't name the name, but there's a very popular XRP individual. And the reason I won't name the name is he's no longer in the community. But he just, nothing bad happened. He just decided that he didn't want to be part of this anymore. And but anyway, he was predicting that by the end of 2018, so this is before the XRP bubble popped, last market cycle, he was predicting that we'd see a crypto market cap at $2 trillion by the end of 2018. Like, no, it would take years to get there because that bubble inflated and popped. And so, like, I'm just saying, there's no shortage of people that will be saying this stuff in our community, some in our community. And that's fine. Like, I welcome ideas. This is not me attacking the people. I'm just saying I disagree. That's it. But there will be people just in the broader crypto sphere that when this happens, you'll see more and more of it. And to me, it's just like these people don't know what the hell they're talking about. There's hundreds of years worth of proof that shows that when bubbles inflate, they do pop. It doesn't mean the asset class is going away or the underlying asset, whichever it is. It just means that there's too much of a frenzy around whatever we're talking about in the moment, and the market needs to correct. That's it. It's no more complex than that. And then there was also this. Somebody named DeFi Clyde Frog tweeted something that I certainly disagree with, which is the following. You should be holding 3 types of bags strategically, in my opinion. A few bags with long-term holds to sell 5 to 10 years down the road, a few bags with short-term holds to sell 1 to 3 years down the road, and a few bags generating passive income in the meantime. Have a plan. Here's what DIY Investing said about that tweet. Everything should be within 3 years because you can sell it all and buy it at 80% discount. If you truly believe in the project, sell it and compound it in the bear market. This 5 to 10 year S word is dumb in my opinion. And so I actually share the same opinion as DIY Investing. So if I end up, and I might, if I do sell all of my XRP this market cycle, if I'm sufficiently enticed to do so, it doesn't mean I don't like XRP. It doesn't mean that I don't think it has long-term viability. It means that I'm looking at my entire net worth and the XRP portion is outsized and I need to reallocate. That's what that means. It means that even if I'm still very positive about XRP, it's time for me personally, given my personal situation, to sell, realize some profit, and then after the market tanks, get back in. And that's what I'm kind of, so assuming as long as we do see the bubble continue to inflate, absolutely, that's what I'm going to do. But this idea of long-term holds, I mean, look, I'll say this. So that approach isn't for me. If somebody wants to buy a crypto, like say it's just Bitcoin even, you know, where everybody starts basically, almost everybody anyway. It wasn't my first crypto purchase, but for most people it is, understandably so. If your idea is just to buy it and then hold it for decades and see what happens, I can respect that. If you really don't want to be part of any of that volatility, I can respect that, especially from a person like me who refuses to get into the day-to-day nitty gritty in terms of like seeing what's happening and trying to time the market. I can respect that, and I do, but that's still too far for me. I'm willing to not sell for several years, but I'm acknowledging market cycles currently exist. They absolutely do exist. And so if you really don't want to participate, you really just want to set it and forget it, okay, to each their own. It's not completely disastrous, but a lot of these cryptocurrencies, given that there's 12,000 of them, if it's something outside of Bitcoin and XRP, I'm kind of wondering if you're really talking about 10 years down the road, I don't know that most of these coins are going to exist in 10 years. So, like, man, like look, having a 5 to 10 year outlook in like the stock market and just buying an index fund, that makes sense. Purchasing pick your index fund. If you're talking about doing that in crypto, I'm less confident. But I mean, in terms of most of those coins being around in 10 years, less confident. That's all I'm saying. And then there was this from Plan B, very popular analyst here. You can see he shared the following with his 960,000 followers. He's the one that first applied the stock-to-flow model to Bitcoin. First person ever to do that. And he wrote the following. On-chain analysis finished tonight. In my opinion, we are midway. No sign of weakness, which would be red on this chart, yet. Note color overlay is not months to halving, but an on-chain signal. My guess. This second leg of the bull market will have at least 6 more months to go. Interesting. So we'll see if that's right. And I'm not saying that I'm sold on this idea of the stock-to-flow model, but I do admit, it's on your screen, of course I have to admit, it's been pretty well spot on since the inception of Bitcoin, since the very beginning. So I do acknowledge that, but it doesn't take into account demand. So crazy demand. So it's just... It's like supply and demand. How do you just say, I'm just going to throw out demand? Because that's basically what it's doing. Like, okay, fine, it's worked to this point, but I'm kind of skeptical of the model in general. We'll see. I can be wrong. But as far as this timeline, he's talking about, maybe 6 months more to go until you see the final leg up. I don't know. Because look, the DIY investing, he's one of the people, the very popular chart analyst that thinks, no, it's going to be just like last market cycle in terms of timing, which means the very end of this year, he's highly confident that's when you're going to see the blow off top. And so it'll be interesting to see who's right. If we don't see the blow off top by, December, basically, then that would mean that he's mistaken on this particular topic. He might be right. I don't know. But maybe plan B is correct, and it's going to be 6 months from now. There's all sorts of analysts that do think it's going to take a bit longer to get to that point. So if we do, and that would just be some more proof that these market cycles are slowly lengthening. And that does seem to be, from what I follow, most analysts that I follow do seem to think that's more likely. It'd be interesting to see someone like DIY Investing, Incredible Crypto, or pick your analyst. It'd be interesting to see them debate about why or why not the market length is increasing or not. Because I'm not 100% sold. But I'm just noting that most people do seem to think it's increasing. So I suspect it has something to do with a disagreement as to where market cycles begin and end, because what the hell else could it be? And then there was this tweet from chart analyst Leb Crypto talking about Bitcoin. For those asking me in direct messages, I'm still short. Yup. Expecting a deviation slightly above $49,000 to serve as a swing failure pattern for a downside correction. Happy to be wrong, though. It's all about risk management. For those wishing me to get liquidated, it just doesn't happen, sorry. And then he's got a little laughy emoji. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know for sure what's going to happen in the short term, but nothing goes up in a straight line forever. All I know is that XRP is not looking too bad, because XRP is currently up about, within the last 12 months, somewhere in the neighborhood of 400%. I don't hate that. I know what I hate, and I don't hate that. Oh, and also worth mentioning, I've now held all of the XRP that I own, all of it, for at least a year, which means since I'm in the United States, my tax implications just got really pretty. And I was hoping that would happen, to be honest. Selfishly, I wanted to make sure that XRP didn't run before I had held it for at least a year, because in the United States, you get taxed at a max of 20%. That's the long-term capital gains tax rate. And outside of that, you just get taxed at your bracket. So you can imagine you have like 7 figures worth of crypto profit, and you get taxed at the top income bracket. What are you going to lose, like half of it? Whew. No. So at this point, 20%, it's still outrageous. That's just how it is in my country, but I'm going to pay what I legally owe, of course. I'm not going to be skirting the system here. Not interested in that kind of pressure from the government, from the IRS. No, please don't knock on my door. I almost said happily pay. I will pay whatever I legally owe, and at least it's going to be 20% instead of, upwards of 50% or somewhere around there. So anyway, feeling good here. Let me know what you think about all of this. Fun topics of discussion, as always, but I'll wrap up here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.